Are these two headed for divorce?
Did Ryan Reynolds ditch Blake Lively at the premiere of Another Simple Favor to save his own career?
Strangers describe me as extremely disloyal.
Blake Lively is devastated as Ryan Reynolds chooses to divorce her amidst the scandals she involved him in. The emotional turmoil marks the end of their relationship.
Lively and Reynolds, who once seemed like untouchable Hollywood darlings, can't seem to.
Ryan's just doing what he does best, cutting people out of his life when they no longer serve a purpose.
Are spilling on the real reason why Ryan Reynolds left Blake Lively alone on the red carpet amid the Anna Kendrick beef, and it's all about
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, once hailed as Hollywood's golden couple, are now falling apart. Honestly, it's about time. For years, they fooled everyone into thinking they were relationship goals.
It's been reported for months that they are separated, that Blake and Ryan do not live together, that they are
Blake with her fake sweet girl persona and Ryan playing the charming, funny husband, when in reality, they were just two ticking time bombs, destined to implode. Now, after everything that's unfolded, their marriage is on life support. And honestly, it's not even surprising at this point.
Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
At the February 2024 premiere, Blake Lively appeared solo, forcing a smile so hard she likely strained a few muscles. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was nowhere to be found, not even a simple Instagram story pretending to show.
It was Lively's second public outing since she and husband Ryan Reynolds attended Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary show in February. For the most part, the pair have been lying low while their bitter legal battle against Lively's It Ends With Us director and co-star Justin Baldoni.
Nope, the man completely dipped. People weren't asking where Ryan was because they missed him. They were asking because his absence was so glaring, it practically screamed, "I'm done with this mess."
Reynolds filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuits on Tuesday, March 18th. Us reached out to Baldoni's lawyer for comment at the time. The entirety of Mr. Baldoni's case appears to be based on Mr. Reynolds allegedly privately calling Mr. Baldoni a.
Industry insiders revealed that Ryan's vanishing act wasn't random. Oh no, it was a carefully planned escape after their disastrous appearance at the SNL 50th anniversary special. Ryan realized staying with Blake was career suicide. He didn't just suddenly decide, he had better things to do.
Contractually obligated to be there, and both of them, Anna and Blake, and I'm sure neither of them really wanted to be there, to be fair. But why wasn't Ryan there? I'm not surprised he wasn't there. I got to be honest. He doesn't have to be.
He calculated every move like his $350 million net worth depended on it, because spoiler alert, it does. With Deadpool releasing in July 2024 and him being a walking financial empire, there was no way he'd let Blake's dumpster fire of a reputation drag him down.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship amid their legal battle. Good days and bad days. Are these two headed for divorce?
Speaking of SNL, let's talk about how horribly they bombed that night. In February 2024, Ryan and Blake strolled into SNL thinking the world still loved them. Yeah, right. Ryan even tried to crack a joke, saying, "Why, what have you heard?" when Amy Poehler called him out. The guy looked like he was fighting for his life on national TV. That wasn't humor. It was pure panic disguised as a punchline.
So far, survived the fallout. I would agree with that. It has. He's still going to be Deadpool. He's not going to lose gigs. I do think Blake will have a.
The audience gave them awkward side eyes, uncomfortable giggles, and, oh yeah, actual boos. Imagine spending years building your brand as Hollywood's most lovable guy, only to get booed because your wife keeps tanking her own career.
Have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived.
Let's not forget Blake's reaction to the whole SNL disaster. According to insiders, Homegirl lost it backstage, furious that Ryan didn't stand by her enough. Newsflash, Blake. You're not the victim here. You're the reason people are gagging. She apparently views Ryan not as a husband, but as a glorified PR prop, like his whole existence should be about making her look good. She honestly expected him to sit there, smiling like a trained poodle, while her $400 million legal nightmare with Justin Baldoni spiraled out of control.
I'm going to break down why that is not true and how this filing is pure comedy and insanity. It literally contradicts itself, and it's not even admissible.
Blake thought she could fake her way through the Another Simple Favor premiere too. She must have practiced that frozen smile for hours in the mirror. But the second she stepped onto the red carpet without Ryan, it was game over. All anyone could talk about was the massive Ryan-shaped hole beside her. She wasn't just alone physically, but symbolically. And Blake knows better than anyone. Once people start seeing you alone in Hollywood, they start writing your career's obituary.
Just gonna be straight with you, I don't fucking like him. So they're both equally repulsive.
Meanwhile, Ryan was out here playing chess while Blake was still trying to figure out how to set up the board. Sources say he deliberately stayed away, making it loud and clear he wanted no part in her scandals. Can you blame him? Blake's $400 million lawsuit against Baldoni exploded so badly that by March 2024, tabloids were already leaking that Ryan had quietly started prepping for divorce. And when I say prepping, I mean cleaning house, locking up endorsements, preparing Deadpool 3's marketing plan, and making sure he wasn't tied to Blake's flaming PR disaster any longer than necessary.
I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie. It was weird that Ryan was there and it ends with us. If he shows up to every one of our movies that has nothing to do with, I think it would be...
Let's not pretend Ryan's some innocent angel either. The man's net worth is over $350 million, and every move he makes is about protecting that cash flow. Ryan wasn't absent from the premiere because he's shy or hates attention. He was missing because he finally realized standing next to Blake in public was career kryptonite. After all, their SNL stunt had already shown him everything he needed to know. The public had officially turned on them.
A bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
Blake Lively's flop era hit new heights when witnesses lined up like it was
The worst part? Blake couldn't even blame the audience reaction on anything other than herself. Her performance on SNL was as genuine as a reality TV star's wedding, and when the crowd didn't buy into her poor me act, she flipped out on Ryan like it was his fault. Sources say she practically demanded a full PR strategy overhaul after that night. Separate appearances, separate projects, separate everything. Not because they wanted to save their marriage. Oh no. It was because they wanted to save their money. Blake doesn't want a family with no income, and she knows Ryan's career has managed to survive the fallout. The damage control was so obvious it was painful to watch. Blake thought she could just slap on a designer dress, pose for some photographers, and everyone would magically forget she's out here suing a man she allegedly threw herself at.
Evidence that has been put out there to show that these people are
She thought she could erase the fake voicemail scandal, the botched PR campaigns, and the growing mountain of evidence that she's not the sweet little angel she plays on screen. Blake, no amount of red carpet appearances can fix the fact that the audience isn't buying what you're selling anymore.
Even their solo projects are going to be scrutinized. You guys clearly aren't backing down. You're frustrated with them, and I hear why. I am too. If they really played the power moves that they...
It sounds like you're describing a dramatic take on Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's public image. The tone is pretty harsh, calling out their behavior and questioning their authenticity. You're saying that despite their fame and golden couple status, their actions have led to people losing faith in them, and that their relationship is seen as less genuine now. You also hint at some ongoing legal troubles for Blake. Would you like to develop this further or create a more balanced perspective?
That these are Ryan Reynolds' words in it, and that it's just him being a bully. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Ryan knew exactly what he was doing by skipping that red carpet. He wasn't being petty. He was being strategic. The man has built his career on being funny, likable, and non-controversial. Blake, on the other hand, is the human equivalent of lighting a match next to a gas tank right now, and Ryan is just trying to get as far away from the explosion as possible before it blows up the last shred of goodwill he has left.
She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
You can't just accuse someone and have receipts dropping left and right showing you were flirting like a teenager at a boy band concert, then expect the industry to stand and clap for you.
No one knew who he was beforehand. Everyone knows who he is now. If he is a smart sociopath, he'll...
Blake Lively's flop era reached new heights when witnesses lined up, exposing her desperate, flirty text to Baldoni, including the infamous "try it pregnant" comment. In February 2020, Baldoni fired back with a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times for pushing Blake's fabricated accusations. Hollywood insiders, sensing the disaster, ghosted Blake faster than Chanel clearing out its dock.
I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, and creative.
Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was getting blindsided by receipts of his wife drooling over another man's abs. Just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Taylor Swift floated in like the Queen of Chaos, allegedly helping plant the anti-hit piece before pretending she barely knew Blake once the heat kicked in. Iconic moves.
What Blake's done to Justin is worse, but we've got such tunnel vision on bad, good.
But Taylor wasn't dumb enough to go down with Blake's sinking ship. Oh no. She did what she does best, used the situation to her advantage, and then bolted faster than Ryan Reynolds at a Blake Lively movie premiere. By early 2020, Taylor was publicly distancing herself. No more cute squad photos, no more bestie selfies, just a whole lot of silence. Even Taylor Swift, queen of media manipulation, knew Blake Lively was radioactive.
Time getting gigs, not because of a retaliation campaign, but because of her demanding authorship. Go make your own movies, Blake. Go make your own movie. You have the funds, the support, apparently. You have.
And the petty didn't stop there. Taylor even hyped up Deadpool and Wolverine on Instagram like it was the second coming of cinema. Guess what? That movie just so happened to include not-so-subtle jabs at Baldoni, like the Gordon Reynolds alias and the nice pool character. Yeah, real subtle, guys. Hollywood insiders were laughing harder than Ryan's PR team trying to scrub Blake's name off Google search results.
Not a victim, okay? When Justin Baldoni put out those receipts, it was lights out. You didn't show him any grace when you took over his movie. You didn't show him any grace when you did Dead.
But when the backlash got too loud and fans started connecting the dots, Taylor pulled her favorite move, played innocent, looked shocked, and left Blake to rot alone. Honestly, bravo, Taylor. Not everyone has the guts to orchestrate a takedown and then pretend they were just an innocent bystander sipping tea in the corner.
Honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her full.
Divorce rumors at the Reynolds Lively circus exploded when Ryan's old human shield joke about Blake resurfaced, and fans realized he might have been dead serious. Then came his 2016 birthday tweet, where he basically forgot Blake existed while gushing over Billy Ray Cyrus. Sources revealed that Ryan had similar resentment issues with ex-wife Scarlett Johansson, proving he doesn't handle a successful partner too well. Things hit rock bottom when Ryan allegedly threw a tantrum on the Deadpool 3 set after finding out how flirty Blake got with Baldoni. Their cute roasting turned into straight-up bitterness, and honestly, nobody was surprised.
They participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling?
What once looked like relationship goals now resembled two aging high schoolers still trying to outsass each other in the cafeteria. The only difference now? The whole world's watching and nobody's laughing anymore. At this point, the only real surprise is that it took them this long to implode publicly. Because behind every sarcastic birthday tweet, every uncomfortable red carpet moment, and every fake grin, the resentment was stacking up like bad tabloid covers in a grocery store aisle.
The amount of I'm sorry's will ever undo it. Hurt.
Blake thought she could control the narrative by throwing lawsuits and using her celebrity BFFs as human shields. Ryan thought he could smirk his way out of any scandal. Turns out, they were both wrong, very, very wrong.
And then Brian Friedman had responded about that whole SNL 50 thing by saying that is Justin Baldoni's attorney. He says, I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Just when you thought Blake Lively couldn't embarrass herself any further, she said, "Hold my beer," and gave us the deep-fake disaster of the century. After her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni started falling apart like a dollar store piñata, Blake apparently thought the best way to save herself was to cook up a fake voicemail where Baldoni was supposedly apologizing. Clearly, if lying publicly doesn't work, lying digitally should, right?
People have done themselves no favor with how they've handled everything.
But here's the kicker. Tech experts didn't even need a magnifying glass to call out her BS. The metadata was a mess. The audio sounded like it was stitched together by a drunk robot, and even casual listeners were like, wait a second, why does this apology sound like Siri after software update? It wasn't just bad, it was career-ending bad. The whole thing was so obviously fake that Hollywood insiders started whispering about potential criminal fraud charges. That's right, folks. Blake didn't just risk a slap on the wrist, she risked full-blown charges. You know you're desperate when your $650 million liability exposure starts looking like the least of your problems.
Didn't show him any grace when you put that, or you coordinated with the New York Times to put that article out about how he has coordinated a smear campaign against you. And now you can see it's not Justin Baldoni.
And Ryan Reynolds? Oh, poor Ryan. He reportedly lost his damn mind when he found out about the deep fake scandal. Imagine standing by your wife through public booing, PR disasters, and awkward red carpets, only to wake up one morning and find out she tried to fake evidence in a lawsuit. That's the stuff therapy bills are made of. Ryan realized he hadn't just been standing next to a ticking time bomb, he was basically duct taped to it the whole time. Sources say that after the fake voicemail blew up, Ryan went straight into get me out of this marriage mode. By March 2024, Splash Fam, he was already lawyering up, plotting his great escape like a man who finally saw the jail cell door swing open.
Usually when someone's a victim, the only victim I see in this case is Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, and everyone else that you tried to destroy with your narcissistic delusions.
But Blake wasn't just tanking her marriage. Oh no. She decided to take her entire career down with her too. By early 2024, two of her biggest brand partners, L'Oreal and Chanel, started quietly backing away. And when I say backing away, I mean ghosting her like she tried to text them. You up? At 3 a.m. These brands built their whole image on elegance and class, and the last thing they needed was Blake Lively, the human embodiment of a lawsuit, representing them.
Repercussions of the legal feud have been wide-reaching. There are reports Lively's close friendship with Taylor Swift has been impacted, and the first source says the singer wasn't happy with being brought.
Directors and studios caught on pretty fast too. Suddenly, Blake wasn't getting any calls. You could practically hear the silence from her agent's office. No one wanted to hire someone who could turn a simple movie set into a courtroom drama overnight. She wasn't just high risk, she was radioactive. And not the cool, edgy kind, the career-ending lawsuit bait kind.
Repercussions of the legal feud have been wide-reaching. There are reports Lively's close friendship with Taylor Swift has been impacted, and the first source says the singer wasn't happy with being brought.
Meanwhile, the biggest plot twist of all, Justin Baldoni, the man Blake tried to drag down, started having a full-on career comeback. Studios that once wouldn't even return his calls were now lining up like he was the second coming of Hollywood royalty. Turns out, when you survive a full-blown assassination attempt on your career and come out looking like the victim, people suddenly want to work with you again. Funny how that works.
And then Brian Friedman had responded about that whole SNL 50 thing by saying that is Justin Baldoni's attorney. He says, I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
And while Blake was busy being blacklisted, Ryan was over here treating Deadpool 3 like his personal get-out-of-jail-free card. Insiders said Ryan called the movie his joy portal, which honestly sounds about right. After months of living inside Blake's nonstop PR disasters, getting to wear a red suit, make fart jokes, and cash a fat Marvel paycheck probably did feel like entering heaven. Ryan made sure his name wasn't tied to Blake's flaming wreckage. By mid-2025, divorce paperwork was already being whispered about, just in time for Ryan to hit the red carpet solo and free.
I wasn't that surprised that Ryan wasn't there. It wasn't his movie. It was weird that Ryan was there and it ends with us. If he shows up to every one of our movies that has nothing to do with, I think it would be.
And no, Ryan's not exactly innocent here either. Let's be real. The man spent years cashing in on being Mr. Funny Nice Guy while living with a ticking time bomb and pretending not to hear it beep. But at least he had the sense to start running once he saw the bomb squad showing up.
Have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived.
Meanwhile, Blake's situation was turning from sad to absolutely tragic. This is a woman who spent over a decade building the perfect Hollywood image, the classy dresses, the cutesy interviews, the "I'm just a normal girl" routine. She had the industry eating out of the palm of her hand. Yet, in the span of about 6 months, she torched it all. Legal disasters, public embarrassments, brands dropping her, directors ghosting her. If there were a masterclass in how to blow up your entire career, Blake could teach it if anyone still cared to listen.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' relationship amid their legal battle. Good days and bad days. Are these two headed for divorce?
And guess what? It's not even over. When the real fireworks are set to explode, that's when Justin Baldoni's major lawsuit goes to court. If you think Blake's reputation is bad now, just wait until the courtroom receipts start dropping like atomic bombs. Hollywood loves a scandal, until it makes them look bad. Then they run faster than Ryan running away from another Blake.
Are spilling on the real reason why Ryan Reynolds left Blake Lively alone on the red carpet amid the Anna Kendrick beef, and it's all about...
Even Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, pulled the ultimate girl, I don't know her move after getting tangled up in Blake's disaster. Taylor made sure to distance herself so fast, she probably left dust clouds behind. One second they're hanging out, posting selfies, matching outfits. The next second Taylor's PR team is on full lockdown like Blake who? Never heard of her. It's almost impressive how quickly Hollywood allies turn into strangers the second your reputation smells even a little off. Intoro 38. And, honestly, can you blame them? Blake Lively didn't just dig her own grave. She set up an entire cemetery. She weaponized everyone around her, used her Hollywood friends like chess pieces, and then sat there shocked when the whole board flipped over. Taylor Swift figured it out, Ryan Reynolds finally figured it out, and poor Justin Baldoni had to figure it out the hard way. The real betrayal wasn't Justin allegedly being some evil mastermind. It was Blake Lively thinking she could weaponize the hashtag #MeToo movement, fake evidence, manipulate the media, and still come out looking like a hero. She thought she could play everyone around her, but instead, she played herself. Even Ryan Reynolds, king of sarcasm and Deadpool jokes, couldn't spin this disaster into something cute. At this point, Blake's Hollywood career isn't just on life support, it's already flatlined. And Ryan? He's doing everything in his power to walk away with his reputation, his Deadpool paycheck, and whatever shred of dignity he can still scrape together. Congratulations, Blake. You didn't just lose a marriage, you lost Hollywood. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for the next meltdown. Hit that subscribe button and join the chaos.